Bitcoin is still trading at around $100,000 while Ccash is going completely through the roof, trading right now at around $650, guys. We want to have a look into that. Also my price predictions for Ccash for this huge run up that we have seen right now, and also some major updates on upcoming cryptos like Best Wallet, guys, that currently is in the last phase before the launch on exchanges. So last chance to get on board into the Best Wallet token. They raised over 16 millions already. Of course, I also bought in and I'm also staking the coins right now, so hurry up, guys, if you want to get some Best Wallet tokens as well. The link is of course here in the video description. I'm gonna keep it right at the top here. And of course also we have a Bitcoin Hyper that is breaking new records, and also Hyper Sui that is entering right now into the next stage very soon. So the price is going to increase right now. They raised now over 2.4 millions and the final price will be 9 cents. So you can do the math, guys, how much gains we can do with Hyper Sui. We're gonna have a look into that as well. So welcome everyone on board. Make sure to be subscribed on this channel. Check out all links in the video description, especially to Hyper Sui, Bitcoin Hyper, and so on. All links are here. Also, if you need some exchanges like Bybit, Bitunix, Casey Exchange, and so on, make sure to be using my sign up links that you find here to get the maximum sign up bonus there. For example, here on Casey Exchange, you're gonna enjoy 0 trading fees if you use my links, and also 0 withdrawal fees on your funds if you want here to trade over on Casey Exchange. No KYC needed. And of course, we're gonna start first with Bitcoin and then with Zcash and so on, guys. So make sure to be subscribed here. Check out also my other social media platforms. And we are almost at 3,000 subscribers, guys. So thank you very much for your great support. A little bit more and we're gonna do the next $100 giveaway for you. So make sure to be subscribed here. Be active, because the more likes, the more comments I see from you and so on, the more likely it is I'm gonna select you as the lucky winner of the next $100 giveaway. So remember, guys, everything is no financial advice in this video. Of course, trading here in the crypto space is extremely high risk, especially when you see those huge pumps here, and that's why always take it with a grain of salt, whatever we are doing here, because always do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give any financial advice, but of course since 2017 we are doing great here, and therefore of course we're gonna have a look now into Bitcoin and also Zcash. What are my expectations here, because Bitcoin is still at a very critical point. We have Friday today, so today we are going to close the weekly candle for the CME chart. For the spot chart on Sunday, not today but on Sunday, but the CMEs are going to close today, so we're gonna have a look into that. And also the altcoins today are all a bit in green, so that could be a nice forecast maybe to what is upcoming here also for Bitcoin. Maybe we're gonna have a nice pumpy weekend. We're gonna have a look into that, guys. Remember, everything in this video is just my own opinions, my own price analysis, and so on. So in the 4-hour time frame and so on, we don't have to look too much into the indicators and also what's going on, because anyway we're just going sideways. Also here on the daily time frame, we are retracing back into the completeness channels. We are waiting here for the buy signal to appear very soon, guys. It is possible that it's going to appear during the weekend, latest next week, and that makes me extremely bullish, because once we're getting here a buy signal on the daily time frame, you can see that every time that we are getting buy signals, every time here or here and also here, at least we are getting a nice bounce and a nice pump to the upside. And the question is then always where this pump is taking us. And in this case, I think that if in the next coming days we are just going sideways here and we are triggering a buy signal, so everywhere we trigger a buy signal, it's possible that we could see a nicer rally, at least into the median line of the candle channel, so the 200 daily moving average at 110k, or even better, towards the top side of the candle channels at around $113,000, somewhere up here, because the top side of the candle channels is also coming down. And in my opinion, if that happens in time, so if we rally before we're gonna close on the spot chart, the weekly candle, because currently also here we're cooling off the indicators, at some point here we're gonna trigger also a buy signal on the weekly, and then of course we could get another nice leg up, another nice rally. But the problem is, if this weekly candle will close below the 50 weekly moving average, so below $103,000, then we would have for the first time a weekly close below the 50 weekly moving average. And even if we rally next week again above it, in the past this ended up just in lower highs in comparison to the all-time high, and afterwards we rolled over and started the bear market basically. So this is something that we have to keep in mind. We have the chance right now here to close above 103k this week, but it needs to happen as soon as possible. I think latest until Sunday. And based on the 4-hour and daily time frame, we have the chance to do that, but it needs to happen as soon as possible. And over on the CME chart, same problem. Here we are closing today, and currently we are also here below $103,000. So that's a bearish sign, guys, because also here on the weekly time frame, we never had one single weekly close below the 50 weekly. Here we went below, but we recovered above. Here again, we went below, we recovered above. Here, as you can see, even here, we closed right above the 50 weekly moving average. And afterwards, we have seen the continuation of the bull run. And also here, we corrected heavily down to 24K in 2023, still above the 50 weekly moving average. And here, this is basically where the bear market ended in, what was it, March 2023. This was the end of the bear market here, because Bitcoin regained basically here momentum and pushed towards above the 50 weekly moving average, so above 23K. And you can see here resistance, and then suddenly boom, here support. So we broke through, we came then down to retest it as a support, and afterwards a big bull run started basically from 15K all the way up to $126,000. And now for the first time we are seeing a potential weekly close below the 50 weekly, and that is very, very concerning. And at the same time, the US dollar dominance could eventually have for the first time here a weekly close above the resistance trend line from this falling wedge, in theory a bullish pattern. As you can see, every attempt here to break out higher failed, and now for the first time it is potentially happening. And if this is breaking up, then bear market confirmed, guys. That's why their risk during the way to the upside if we get another rally, if we get confirmation latest by Sunday that we are entering into a bear market. Of course, I keep you updated, guys. I keep you updated every day here. Even during a bear market, we can make money and gains, because we can also short the market and also take profits before, of course, from some altcoins and Bitcoin, and nothing goes in a straight way down. Also, we're going to have some bounces. So that means that we can go long and short also during a bear market. And of course, try to invest into new upcoming cryptos that are hyped, like Bitcoin Hyper, Best Wallet, and so on. Because all of them, the new coins, they're always doing their own thing whenever they're launching. So they are not that affected like other altcoins that are already in the markets out at the beginning. Later on, maybe yes, at some point they go into price discovery. But at least at launch, we can hope that, or there is some hope that we can, of course, make some gains at launch of those new coins. Remember, guys, the complete list is here in the video description of new hyped upcoming cryptos during this year and early next year. So for Bitcoin, we're going to see what happens, guys. I'm bullish here for the next coming hours and days. I think we're going to have a nicer weekend probably. And the important is, as I told you, the weekly time frame on the CME and on the spot chart, they need to close above the 50 weekly moving average. Otherwise, we have a problem most likely. Unless, of course, Bitcoin is again rallying and having weekly closes, let's say above 112 or 113K again, or even better above all-time high, so above 130K. Then, of course, we have the chance to go eventually even all the way up here to the next resistance at 150K, because you can see that we are basically still in this channel with the resistance and support on the weekly time frame. The RSI is also coming down to bounce off most likely at this support trend line on the RSI. So if here we are bouncing again towards the resistance, it's very likely that Bitcoin could have one more last leg up towards 150K and maybe even higher levels. But that could be a potential scenario if the bull run is still ongoing and if we're not getting basically now the beginning of the bear market. And you can also see that Ccash, guys, is rallying a lot. I mean, since it broke the 200 weekly moving average, it rallied 1,200% in a few weeks. So Ccash is on a rampage right now, while overall the crypto market is crashing. And if we have a look into the indicators, it looks like that we're going to continue to push higher and higher until here we're crossing bearish. But keep in mind, guys, at the moment, it's very high risk to jump on board. I think that the price can still go much higher. I'm going to tell you my targets, but of course, no financial advice, just my own opinions and analysis. But here on the daily time frame, everything is still shifted to the upside. So we have a lot of room left to the upside. But at some point, if you're trading with my indicators, we're gonna get a sell signal, because we are in very, very extreme overbought condition. Here also we retrace down to the median line of the Keltner channels. So if you're waiting for a good entry, maybe $390 would be a good entry point. But we don't have any sell signal yet. So that means that we still can reach the top and then maybe crash down. But if you see a retracement, currently the median line of the candle channels at $390 is or would be the great buy opportunity right now. And also over on the weekly time frame, you can see that here we are in extreme overbought condition, but also here all indicators are still going up and no signs of a top yet. And therefore, of course, I would like to make here a Fibonacci extension level, since we are currently no man's land territory. And if you go from the top to the bottom, so I think that there is more history here on Zcash. I remember Zcash that it went at the beginning to much higher prices, but even if we just do here a Fibonacci retracement from the last relevant top to the current bottom, you can see that the next extension levels would be at around $900 here, the 1272 Fibonacci extension level, and the 1618 would be at $2,600. So it is possible that one of those two targets would be reached with this move. And especially if we're gonna see a nice recovery in the crypto market right now, it is possible that this one could even reach here the $2,500 area here on Ccash. I remember that privacy coins, I was trading them and owning them a lot, especially Ccash, Monero, and also Dash. Those were the main privacy coins. Also Monero, I even used to mine Monero back in the days, but I mean, the performance was very weak over time. So at the end, I converted everything back into Bitcoin. But if the privacy coins are coming back, then of course, this could be something very big. Dash, Monero, and Ccash, especially if the bull run continues now. But I think that privacy coins in the future will be very important. They are here to stay, in my opinion. But the problem is that those chains are very small ones. So also for Monero, the problem was back in the days always that it was a very small blockchain. So it was affected by hacks and 51% attacks in mining and stuff like that. So that's why often it crashed a lot. And the same thing can happen anytime, also with Zcash, I think, guys. So be careful if you're trading Zcash. But of course, I think here there is some more room left to the upside. And of course, if it's gonna crash down or something like that, I mean, those kind of coins are always coming back at some point. That's why I think they are here to stay. They are very old coins, all three: Dash, Monero, and Zcash. And Zcash is now, of course, the main performer. But it's possible that if somehow the crypto market continues the bull run, that not only Zcash but also Monero and Dash could have the same performance like Zcash or even more. We will see. If you want to trade them, of course, most of the exchanges are having them, like Casey Exchange, Bybit, and so on. Try out all exchanges to get some of those privacy coins as well. Even here on local coin swap, you can do peer-to-peer trading. Here also Monero is of course available. So definitely check it out if you want to trade those privacy coins like Monero, Zcash, and so on. For Bitcoin, let's see, guys, what happens with this weekly close. I keep you updated, of course, but I think that in the next coming hours and days, we're going to have a nice bounce and, of course, then see if Bitcoin resumes the bull run or not. I think 112K is the final boss now to tell if we are really back in a bull run or not. And until then, I salute you. Today's Friday. Enjoy your Friday, guys. I keep you updated also during the weekend, so make sure to be subscribed here. Thank you for watching and see you all in the next one. Bye for now.